Yo, what up, everybody? It's another beautiful day, another beautiful vault day. Got a nice one. Got 4 characters I've been playing, so I was kind of having a bit of an identity crisis that I think I solved. So, Smartio, my druid, is going to be a balanced character. I got Mythic Tome out of my vault on Warrior, and I wasn't really having a ton of fun on Arms and Fury. I don't mind Fury, like I'll still play it a little bit, because I still have good gear for it, but I'm going to transition this character to Prot. So this will be range DPS, probably tank, melee DPS, and then I'm trying to heal on my Paladin. I healed a heroic raid. The healing parses weren't looking great, but the damage parses as holy, I was dropping absolute bangers. So once we get the healing part of the healer figured out, it's gonna be crazy. I think I took like a little screenshot. Let me find this. I should have recorded it before, I guess, but here's the work I did last week. So my DK and my warrior is 664. My warrior is kind of fake. Like, this is my equipped item level on my DK. Warrior is like 662 in either spec. The only way it would be 664 would be if I mixed gear. That would make no sense. But yeah, I got 3 mythic bosses on my DK, I think. 2 or 3, I don't remember. I don't even have a Vexy kill on this. Like, I have a stick skill and I don't have a Vexy kill, which is kind of troll. But anyways, full raid, full M+, whatever. Same thing on my warrior. I actually pugged 2 out of 8 mythic on my warrior. Paladin got a full heroic alt raid. Didn't get a mythic Vexy or anything, which hopefully I can get this week. And then Smartio, my druid, only 4 10s done on this character, and only 2 heroic slots, but I think between like these 6 slots, it should be okay. So we'll start on the druid, because it's simplest, most simple. Simpler than the other ones. Some combination of that. Go. I think we're going to do it a little differently this week too on the vault, where I kind of just open it and show it. I'm going to show all the characters at once and not really sim anything between. And if there's any interesting decisions, then I'll leave any sims or whatever else until the end. So the druid is going to get... the druid's going to get pretty juiced here because I got 1 piece of heroic tier from raid. And then I have 3 catalyst charges. So I have 4 piece in like 5 minutes whenever I want it. Assuming I don't get a different pair of legs, I'm actually going to catalyze these because they have leech on it, and yeah, it won't cost me crest or anything. So let's see. I want to make sure I'm in the right specs always. Playing balance. I'm only ever playing balance on this. Weapon would be huge. Good trinket would be huge. Any myth piece also fine. I have no idea. Hero tracker must be sweet. I was thinking that was maybe a trinket, but it's not. So I'm pretty much never taking these, I don't think. It's just here. So it kind of saves me a catalyst charge for future weeks, which could maybe be okay. Myth gloves and myth waist. The waist does have leech, but I don't think I want crit. I'm pretty sure I want mastery haste almost exclusively. And this is myth tier, crit mastery. So it's going to be one of these 2. I want the mythic slot. What does this become? That becomes haste verse. And then the waist I would just have to figure out. I don't think the catalyze for the waist is very good. I am going to sim this at the end because I don't know. Just looking at these gloves, like if this was haste mastery, I would snap pick the gloves. But because it's verse... I think verse is my 4th worst stat, so there's a chance that this is the off piece. Like, this is for sure happening, so like these are gonna get catalyzed for sure now. Yeah, legs and helm I want no matter what. So it's between these other 3 that would be the off piece, and I'm thinking it would never be the shoulders because that's main stat mastery, which is my number 1 prio. So it's one of chest gloves are off piece, and I'll just have to look that up and see what's going on. Let's do Paladin, I think is the next Should be the next easiest character because I'm gonna open these as I'm gonna open it as Holy. I kind of go back and forth between Prod and Holy, but Prod already has a good weapon, so I could benefit from an int weapon on Holy, and I don't have really any problem with trinkets on either. Like, I have Signet, I have Heroic, Pick Me Up, I have every Delve trinket I could want on Champ Track, so I'm pretty well off in that regard. I also have 2 crafts to send on this character, which I'm going to do, so both this and my Druid are going to skyrocket in item level today. Craft slots are going to be a combo of Bracer, Cloak, Neck, it looks like. I'm still rocking Heroic Haste Heavy Neck from last year. Probably best case scenario would technically be like a Myth Weapon would be crazy. Myth Tier I'm like fine with. Rescue Keg, the Cinderbrew Neck Mythic is probably like by far the best thing I could get. But that'll pretty much never happen. Oh, don't open it yet. I want to make sure. Loot spec, Holy, and we'll let it rip. I could maybe consider opening this in another thing, but because I could get like Bomb Suit or something, I guess technically. I'm just going to open it as Holy, and it is what it is. Trinkets aren't the greatest for Holy because I already have good trinkets, but I want the weapon if I could get one. Reverb Radio isn't horrible, but I have good trinkets already. These are all hero track. I actually already have a socket on my helm. I could technically catalyze it if I want. Burning Light Shard. This doesn't look good to me, but I really don't know. Haste Mastery Glove, so this could be an off piece because they're okay stats, but more likely it would just be a Myth Kata. And then Haste Crit Ring is pretty good. The Foot Bomb Championship Ring is really good for Prot, but for Holy, I really want Haste Crit, I'm pretty sure, and that's the exact stats that this has, like Haste Heavy with Crit, so that ring looks pretty good. I feel like that's the early favorite for me. It's going to be hard to figure out how to sim as Holy. It's either Myth Tier or it's the ring. I'm not actually sure what's better because, like I said, it depends on the crafts a little bit, and I also don't know when I would get rid of Circlet. So yeah, I guess that I also have to wait on. Kind of sad. I would rather have some snap positions. Warrior is opening Prot as well. My shield's actually pretty well statted, but both my shield and my one-hander are hero track. And I never, ever, ever, ever need weapons on Fury because I already have a 678 with this stats with like Haste Mastery, and then I have a copy of it on hero track. Trinkets would be crazy for damage on this character. Actually, no, they're not. My trinkets are broken. I have Peacemaker and Light's Devotion. I have a Champ Track Jaster. So I'm really looking for weapons, Mythic Tier, or really... This character has a lot of mastery from Fury, and I'm pretty sure Prot, it's like literally the last stat that I would ever want. So we're going to have to swap that up, and we will open it in Prot. Let's see what we got. Okay, so this is Mythic Hands, which isn't the worst thing ever, not the most exciting, but it's fine. Crit verse belt, side grade, it's fine, but I'm not taking that. Mythic Priory is pretty interesting. That's actually kind of funny if I got both of the Mythic, like the 2 most desired, or 2 of the 3, I guess, Peacemaker, or Pacemaker rather, would also be a pretty desired Mythic Plus trinket to get on Myth Track. Almost makes me want to just take the Signet. But yeah, that seems a little bit more exciting, assuming it's good. I don't actually know if it's good for Prot at all. I've never really looked into it. I know I really want crit on Prot. Like, I want a lot of haste and a lot of crit. And if that's the case, I feel like Pacemaker is pretty good. Right now, the Signet, the problem it has, I think it won't perform well on Sims right now, because it's going to give me Mastery, because that's my highest secondary, and I really don't want Mastery. So right now, it probably doesn't feel good, but down the line, it does. Okay, this is complete trash. These bracers is just absolutely awful, so we're never taking those. And then Helm. I would take Helm before Gloves always, assuming this technically saves 15 crests because it's a little higher item level, and it would save a Kata charge. but stat priority here is a lot better just because it's a, like the primary stats I'm going to get from the strength and stamina are going to be higher, and then I'm never taking either of those. So again, I'm going to have to figure out if that signet is good or not. DK, I'm kind of considering opening these as Frost, just to mess around with it for fun. But I feel like I kind of only want to play Unholy, so I don't really know if that matters. You can make an argument to open it for Blood, because I would have access to, like, Bomb Suit and the Tome. So maybe this should be a Blood open angle. I could really use Pants, honestly. The Theater... I think the best thing I could get would be Mythic Theater of Pain Pants, because they're Mastery Haste. That would be the best thing I can get, I'm pretty sure. Other than the Trinket. I think I'm going to stay as Unholy, and the reason I'm going to stay as Unholy is because one of the best things I can get is a Hero Track Core Amplifier or Energy Drink, and I don't want to dilute this pool with Tank Trinkets yet. This is my raid character, or my like main for Mythic Plus and everything like that. So I want to make sure, I don't really give a fuck about my off specs. I want to make sure that I'm as strong as I can possibly be at all times, basically. Okay, so Mythic Reverb Radio is kind of interesting. It's a lot of haste, and I'm actually kind of low haste. Am I low haste? There's something I was thinking. Oh, okay. I'm not low haste. I'm low haste in order to take a Jaster Diamond. So right now, Jaster Diamond is simming as a side grade for me, which I really don't want. I obviously would like, if I had more haste and Jaster's was giving me haste, I'm pretty sure it would be my best, but the combination of like, the combination of me having as much mastery as I have, if I took this ring off and I lose that 3k haste and then I gain, you know, 3k more mastery, suddenly my mastery is higher than my haste, and then, you know, whatever else, I'm not getting the haste proc from the Jaster. So anyways, all that to say, Reverb Radio I feel like could be pretty good. I don't know how good it is in M+, but I also do care about that a good bit. 380 haste up to 5 times, that's 340. So what, that's 1700 haste? And upon reaching maximum hype, amp it up again by 100% for 15 seconds before starting again. Should be pretty good uptime on that. This is Hero Track Pants, which I don't care about at all. So I don't care about either of these slots. Don't care about that. I've gotten this weapon now 2 vaults in a row on the DK, which this would have been nice 2 weeks ago. Instead of this week and last week, it would have saved me a craft. And I would have had a lot better situation on that, on my embellishments. And then Mythic Pacemaker. So this is probably one of the trinkets. Trinket is kind of what I wanted an upgrade on anyways. I don't think Pacemaker is going to be as good for me as Reverb Radio is. So I'll have to see. Let's sim this character. This will be the easiest. Let me get into raid spec and do that really quick. And let's pull this up. So we can do slash MC, and let's do Top Gear and see what's up here. So I want to see just my vault. Do I have a craft to do on this character? I don't think so, right? Yeah, because this was 2 sparks and that was the 3rd spark. So no craft to do. I get a half spark this week. Let's see. Reverb Radio, let's include both of these, and let's also see what upgrading these would look like. Let's assume I get my crest for the week. I want to see if it would be worth investing crests into these and exactly how that would look. Also worth noting that taking a trinket can also be a potential crest save, because I think like I think I will get a Mythic Vexy kill on this finally. So that my profile can at least say 4 out of 8 Mythic, like it should, because right now it's split. Like my Warrior has the Vexy kills, and my DK has the others. So that'd be kind of nice. So it'd be nice to have like 4 out of 8 on my profile, just to make pugging all my rats easier, which I guess I don't really have any ratty characters anymore. But anyways, like a crest save down the line, I guess is kind of nice. And let's go ahead and sim in this spec, and let's also see how it would sim. I'm actually going to do 2 sims here, so I'm going to do my Mythic Plus and my Sand Lane sim. And then I'm going to open this up. This should just be normal. Actually, let's cancel this and go... Crap. Cancel this and go take a look. I want to check the way I'm simming this, because I know I've messed with it a little bit. I forgot to do this. Max all. Do that. We're doing this, we're doing this, and we're doing that. You know what? For the sake of argument, let's also do this, because I forgot. I always forget I have a signet on this character. And then I don't think there's anything I would do here in terms of swapping gear out to make that signet be better. I think that's it. I think that's all the wiggle room I have. I really need those theater pants. That's going to be what I farm this week for my vault slots. It's well overdue. But we'll try to get that. And then we're going to do this exact same sim. I forgot to mess with the knobs again, man. I forgot to mess with the way it's simming. It should just be set on patchwork, but I really don't know. I got reverb radio, and then I want to do both of these specs, and then let's see. Oh, it was a target dummy sim? That is not what I want. Yeah, target dummy sims with no buffs. We're going to redo this. This one's going to be patchwork. And then we're going to do this again, unfortunately, because I messed it up. And then we're going to do the wonderful world of simming. So re-enable all these, re-upgrade it. You know what I just remembered? I want to throw in a Jaster Diamond here, because I want to see... at what point, if ever, does this thing become good. So this sim I don't care about at all. And then let's dungeon splice this a little bit. I feel like dungeon splice is the best M+ sim. I know it's not perfect. Or dungeon slice, not splice, but I haven't really found a better one. I feel like it most accurately represents what I get out of it. So it really likes Pacemaker, wow. So let's see what it likes so much about it. So this is my... Did I sim both specs here? It's really close between radio and Pacemaker actually right here on this sim. Let's go back to this. I'm going to run this again. And I'm going to make sure I have a Jaster in here as well. And I want to see what that looks like. And I also want to make sure it did sim both talent trees. Maybe I just didn't look at what was, like obviously it was going to be lower DPS to have the Mythic Plus build on a single target one. But either way, I still want to see what it's going to come up with. The fun part of every vault day is seeing what you get. The annoying part is having to sim everything to not grief my decision. Mainly on my main. This is something, like, I'm just not going to mess with it, ever. Like, you just will not catch me. You will not catch me messing around with it. Though, to be fair, I probably can just start gearing this character for M+, because I don't know what... I'm currently 21st manning Sprocket, which I think is a combination of, like... my guild leader really doesn't want to run DK. He's a DK hater, which is fair. Kind of, even though I feel like the next two fights, like Sprocket and Bandit, I feel like my spec is significantly better than a lot of other specs on. Just obviously it doesn't bring a raid buff, and range is like way better on Bandit for the most part, even though I think 2-target cleave, which is pretty much all of Bandit, is like insane for Unholy. But anyways. Okay, so now the sim likes radio instead of Pacemaker, which pretty much makes me think the two are dead even. And it still doesn't like Jaster no matter what, is that right? Yeah, it still thinks, it actually has it as a pretty significant decrease. And then... Why is this not showing me my specs? I want to see my specs on this. here it is. And I guess I'm going to see that from the other one. Interesting. So this does like Pacemaker plus Jaster on M+. Let's see. It's getting there on the dungeon thing. Again, this is just all single target. So yeah, I mean, these are basically, there's no difference really. The main thing I would say if these are close is that I would rather take the Pacemaker, right? Because I can just get this. Like, it's off the 3rd boss in Mythic. I don't know how many people want it. I think a good amount of people. I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna post this in my guild Discord right now. And I'm gonna make sure I don't grief anyone. Because if there's a lot of people that need radio, and selfishly, I'm just like, oh, I can get it from raid. If that's taken away from a lot of people who would need it, then I'm not gonna use that line of logic. Yo, at my guild leader. Okay, I've sent it to him. We'll see what he says, and then this should almost be done on the dungeon slice. I want to see, for the sake of argument, just while I'm waiting on that other sim, can I get the... what is the name of those Theater of Pain pants that I really need to be farming? Galvanize, Oxenly Guards. Let's put a 658 on that. We're almost done. Either way, the good news is that it's simming both of these as a DPS increase of like around 30k single target, which is awesome. So no matter what, I'm pretty happy with this vault. Like, Trinket is one of the main things I can get on DK. I am actually not going to take anything in this video though. I'm going to run delves, because if I get a map in my delves, which I can always guarantee because I can get the toy, if I can get a map from my delves and I can get an energy drink or a mechano amplifier on hero track, I'm pretty sure both of those are better than those trinkets on Mythic. And then we're going to have to change this equation around. So I'm not taking anything on this character. It's, like I said, it's the character I'm going to be most careful about. But I am going to keep this window open. And we'll go to that after. I'm going to keep these windows and I'm going to make sure I take a look at it. So it likes reverb radio again, but barely. This is just showing that my Mythic Plus build is obviously better in Dungeon, because obviously that's like the point of it. And it has these as both being pretty dead even. Actually, not quite at all, right? So this is just Pacemaker and this is just radio. So Pacemaker about 10k, radio about 31k, so obviously not close at all. And then with Jaster Diamond in the picture, it still has it as a decrease. However, worth noting that Jaster Diamond plus this is about equal to CRC, so I'm getting to the point where I'm going to take off this stupid fucking ring. pretty soon here, but not quite there yet. So radio, given the M plus sim, I am favoring this radio. Again, if I want to be purely greedy, I would just take this from... I would take it from a raid kill, but chances are someone else in my guild is going to need that. I think it's good for some caster specs and maybe even a couple healers, so I am not one to be purely selfish in that way, so I'm not going to do that. Let's go on to... Who did I have the Signet on? It was the Warrior. Let's check that out. Also, you guys can let me know. I feel like, obviously, Vault videos are normally pretty short, but I personally find the gearing process pretty entertaining in a while, and I feel like kind of the secondhand satisfaction from, like, sending some crest to upgrade this stuff or craft or whatever is actually quite fun. So I kind of like including it. Okay, so the options here are take Mythic Gloves, which I probably would not put crests into. That's a really important part to note. So in terms of immediate power, this is pretty low. Long term, obviously, it's Mythic tier. This is also Mythic tier, but I'm more likely to want to put crests into it because it's a higher value slot. And then Signet is Signet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sim this Signet as it is. And we're going to see if that's better. And I only care about playing tank on Mythic Plus on this spec. So I'm not going to sim anything else on it. We will max my crest for the sake of argument. And then we are going to throw on a Myth Track Signet. And then we're also going to do this, but with an upgrade. And then we're going to do the gloves, and then also the gloves with an upgrade. And then let's make sure we also have the base Signet here. So this probably means I'm crafting a weapon on my warrior. That's number one, because I do have... and let's take it... Actually, we should keep it on Dungeon Slice, right? I don't care about my DPS on single target that much. Or do I? I kind of like the Dungeon Slice. 6-minute slice of an M plus dungeon overrides fight length. Patchwork. Let's do patchwork. And we're actually going to do both. In that case, I should have done the dungeon one first, technically, but who cares? So yeah, I'm going to have a craft on... Okay, I'm going to do this base level sim, and then I'm going to have to do a sim swapping out some of this gear, however I can get that done with more crit down the line. That's going to be a total pain in my ass to figure out. Boom, we can do that. And this thing does not like the Signet. This actually likes the gloves the most, which I find fascinating. And again, this isn't the craziest increase. So I don't think I'd put a ton of crests into that, but it is Myth tier. I kind of really wanted it to be the Signet because it's just funny to have both of these. I wonder if Signet's better for Fury. It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be better. Again, I'm not really gearing this character for Fury, but for the sake of seeing how good the Signet could be, I might as well test it, right? Equip. What am I missing that could not be equipped? This looks right to me. No, that's the keg needs to go on. And then the rest looks fine. Right, mastery, no, I had one haste mastery. Yeah, this looks fine. Save. Yeah. Gives Fury. And this will be a good old-fashioned Honk Nation sim. I can't believe I got Signet, and getting Signet and Tome back-to-back weeks on this character is so funny, even if I don't take it. That's just hilarious to me. And let's go ahead and put this on Patchwork, and we'll do my single target. we're skipping this. I just want chill background music. Yeah, what am I crafting for prop then? The issue I'm going to have on this character is I was originally playing it for Fury for Raid. So I crafted Cloak, and I crafted Bracers, and they're both Haste Mastery, and the Haste is fine, but I hate Mastery as prop, which is going to be an issue because that Signet, like I said, is going to look really bad in the short term because it's going to be increasing my Mastery, which I really don't want. I want it increasing Haste or Crit. So until I can get that figured out, that's a bit of a problem. But doesn't this give me crit, this tome? So technically if I'm in the right stance and then I pop Signet, but I'd also need to see if I can double use trinkets. Might be a little bit weird. I don't know if those two would interfere with each other at all. I'll have to figure that out as well. So yeah, a lot of variables to kind of work through on this character. But I'm thinking that Signet should be better once this Mastery is out of the equation for prop. That's my guess. That won't be as true if it doesn't like it here, and of course it likes it here. Of course it loves it, actually. It likes it better than the Myth Gloves, but the Myth Gloves are second, so I was wrong about the helm. It likes the gloves more than the helm, which I kind of find fascinating, actually. Haste verse crit mastery. Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't like the helm on this. Wait, this doesn't even make sense. It's saying the helm is a downgrade? How could that be possible, that the helm would be a downgrade? Did I put the helm... Oh, I didn't catalyze it, brother. Dude, I am so dumb. What is wrong with me, man? Run it back. Run it back. Okay, well, the fact that this likes the helm here, this is on Dungeon Slice, it would definitely like the helm if it was my tier, because this is literally taking off my 4-piece, by the way. Like, this is on purpose taking off 4-piece and saying that this is still a huge upgrade. And then it does like the Signet quite a bit. This is on Prot on Dungeon Slice. So multiple... Oh, it didn't like Tome. I'm thinking it's not simming Tome correctly if that's what it thinks. Could be wrong about that. I don't trust that at all. Honestly, this warrior is too complex for me to figure out, so I'm probably not going to do that right now. So yeah, it likes the helm better than that. Yeah, this is too complex to figure out right now. I'm not going to do this on this video. I'm going to be thinking about this for like another hour, guaranteed. So yeah, let's not do that. I'm thinking it's going to be radio on the Death Knight, which is cool. I'm kind of excited about that. Getting a trinket's nice. Okay. I actually forget what was in the Paladin vault. Oh, it was Ring or Radio. That's Hero Track. I'm never taking that. It's one of these two. This should actually be very straightforward, and I'll just take this item right now. This is either Catalyze Hands or take Signet. I'm going to actually see if I have a Catalyst charge even while I let this run. And let's get this on the Buttery Boy, of course. Spec is not supported at this time. How am I supposed to sim healers, bro? Maybe I'll just go off vibes on this character. Like, it's an alt. Fuck it. Do I have a Catalyst charge? I have 2. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go Prot. We're gonna sim on DPS here. It's about... So let's see if this is holy. And then let's do a new set, which is prot. And then let's go ahead and put on my proc gear, which would be this weapon. And then let's go ahead and assume it is this. I'm actually going to sim these trinkets, and we'll see what it actually likes better for prot. But yeah, some combination of this stuff. Let's save that as prot. We're going to sim it like this. And I'm just going to purely go off damage, because it's not. And I like doing damage. So that's what I'm going to do. If you don't believe me, I'll show you exactly what I mean about I like doing damage as this character. Let's see max here, and then let's go. We want, actually, let's go ahead and see if this is an upgrade either way, because I really haven't tested that. Same thing here. Hello? There we go. And let's see, let's convert that to a catalyst item, and then let's go ahead and upgrade that. And then let's do that. I want to add max sockets to that. Add max sockets to that one too, because I would always do that. And then I'm going to do 1, 2. I'm never taking the reverb radio. Even if it was better than these other ones, I'm never taking it. 1, 2, 3 delve trinkets, plus a signet, plus all of this other stuff, gems, whatever. Let's always use one of these. And then we're going to sim between crit haste, crit mastery, haste mastery, mastery haste. Let's do that. Haste crit, master haste. Okay. This looks right. This will be my indicator on this character. I just care about doing damage. It'll be close enough. I'm going to just show you guys this because I think it's funny. So what you're going to notice here, and you're not going to like it when you see it, is you're going to see the healing parses, right? So, like, you know, you're going to, a couple things here to look at. Like, these are some prop parses. This all for damage. If I were to do healing, you're going to see the healing parses don't look great, right? And we understand that. I get it. They don't look great. However, if you go to the damage on the holy parses, now we're starting to cook a little bit. You guys see what I'm talking about? This is a damage healer, a dealer, if you will, which is fitting for the raid. In a lot of ways, I am a dealer for my raid group as well, because you're kind of coming to my blackjack table and you're gambling whether you're going to live on the encounter or not. What you won't be seeing is Word of Glories. You're going to be seeing Shield of the Righteous, Crusader Strike, Judgments. We're going to be seeing Holy Shocks go into the boss. That's sort of the thing you can expect from the big butter. I mean, you're seeing 737k DPS on Vexy. Obviously, there's a damage amp phase, but I mean, if we go see these casts, I'll tell you what, you're not going to be seeing a lot of healing done here. You're going to be seeing, like I said, I mean, damage here, more damage. Like, we're doing some damage on this, you know? That's really what we want to see over here. So you love to see it. This raid bot sim still isn't done. Don't know how that's possible. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to figure out my crafts on this too. So the issue I'm having with crafts here are that it's gonna be really difficult to make it work with me already having a crafted prot weapon. So if I want the option to play both specs, then I need to have probably crafted bracers with another piece that is not embellished this week. No, I'm sorry. It'd be craft bracers and craft a holy weapon to make it work between the two specs. So I craft double weapon, and then I have the bracers to double my ascendance. That would be the best thing to do to make both specs work. For Mythic Plus, I think the best thing I could do would be double craft embellishments on the back and bracers, maybe neck. I don't know, neck would be more immediate for sure. But yeah, it would be crafts there, and then figure it out. Okay, while I'm waiting on this, we're just going to go on Smartio. Smartio is about to be going crazy, I'm pretty sure. 4-piece week on Smartio? My goodness. What a treat. I think this is going to become my Styx character as well for re-clears. Having a boomkin on that fight is so broken. So it's still actually useful for my guild, I think, which is nice. Even though on the DL, I don't really give a fuck. Just keeping that a buck with you. Okay, let's sim both of these. This will be very easy. So we're going to go... So right here, we're going to go... Boom, boom. I care about my Mythic Plus spec more than I care about Raid on this character, so... I'm actually going to do Dungeon Slice on this character too, because that's basically what Styx is, which is what I would use it for. So for the sake of argument, we're going to max that. Before I forget, we're going to come down here. We're going to do Dungeon Slice. Should we find... Sorry, my alarm just went off for some reason. Actually, I know why it went off, but I do not need that right now. Okay, we're going to do this and potential catalyst. I don't care about where I put the crests right now, because crests are going to go into crafting anyways. So that really does not matter to me. We're going to convert that to a catalyst item as well. We're going to convert... I'm going to put that to 658, and we're going to convert that to a catalyst item. And then we're going to do this. And for the sake of argument, we can also convert this to Kata Crit Mastery. Crit Mastery Leech. So I lose Mastery for more crit. I would never do that and use a Catalyst charge for that. That doesn't make any sense. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. Let's see this House of Cards here. And then all of this looks fine. I don't care about gems right now. I'll figure that out as well. Pretty marginal in terms of what I'm going to be doing here. Did I put... What was my other option here? It was... Belt gloves? Belt gloves, yes. Oh, I didn't put an enchant on the legs. Didn't put an enchant on the legs, making everything harder. I love being dumb. Love being dumb. Bum, 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 bum. Nope. House of Cards. Bang. Legs are int and stamina. Dungeon Slice. Bang. Big Butter done yet? Not quite. I'll figure this out. And then after I see the sim, I'm going to turn this sucker off. And really all of this sim is just seeing what is my off piece. That's all I'm doing, because Crit Mastery seems pretty good for me to have Mythtrack Gloves if it's my off piece. And if that's the case, I Catalyst here, here, and here. Grab gloves. Huge item level increase. Good stats on me. Double craft elsewhere. Maybe an offhand and like a neck or something like that. And then we're kind of ready to rock and roll on this sucker. I also think, if I remember correctly, crafting belt is also pretty good for Druid. I don't know what's making me think that exactly, but I'm pretty sure that is true. So we'll see what the sim says, and then I'll shut off the good old video. 40 minutes of me yapping about my vaults and sims. Okay, so it is exactly what I said. No, it's not what I said. It likes keeping the chest as is and catalyzing pants, helm, gloves. Wow, that's a lot of damage increase. Okay. I mean, it's on Dungeon Slice, so like I get it, but still, that's pretty crazy. This character's gonna get juiced. Okay. That's all I got, fellas. I'm gonna keep thinking about this stuff, but you don't need to hear me think out loud. Maybe I'll post what the final results were with crafts and everything. As you can see, maybe here's all my characters' item level and stuff now, and I can show you a before and after here shortly. But yeah, take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Sprocket kill this week. Hopefully. Hopefully coming soon. Video on Friday? I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. kill video of heroics or of Mythic Sprocket. Me 21st man calling the fight. That's coming on Friday. Okay? You can go ahead and book it. You can mark your calendars. 5 p.m. Friday. Mythic Sprocket, 21st man, raid leading Michael. Peanut Butter Maximum, as my guild has coined me recently. That will be dropping on Friday. If it doesn't, we got problems. All right, see you next time.